Hello and welcome to my latest video. I've wanted to attempt making resin bases on pre-made wooden trays for a while, so I picked up 4 trays quite cheaply from Riot Arts and Crafts Supplies, a store here in Australia. They often have 50% off everything sales, and in their latest one I picked up these 4 wooden trays. So they're from Urban Crafter and they're all pre-made. I just have to go through them just to make sure they're sealed okay. I mean, they look pretty decently sealed, but we want to make sure 100% if we're going to be putting resin on the bottom. So I thought I'd give the resin tray effect a try. So I'm going to paint 2 of the bases black and leave the other 2 natural. The rest of the tray I'm also leaving natural. I'm not going to paint it at all. Then I'm going to try and do galaxy effects on all 4 trays. So for 2 of them, so 1 plain, 1 painted, I'm going to just paint on some of the Jacquard Pearl X powders on the base. I've got these 4 colors here. And then on the other 2, which will be 1 black again and 1 neutral, I'm going to pre-mix these in resin and do like a resin pour. They'll all be coated in resin, but there'll be 2 where I've painted directly on the base of the tray and 2 where I've used a resin pour technique. The colors I'll be using today are turquoise, flamingo pink, sky blue, silver or an antique silver, and of course purple, or in this case it's called misty lavender. For the black base I'll be using this Folk Art metallic sequin black acrylic paint. So I've let the black paint dry and I've got the plain one here, so I will just now paint on some Pearl X powder directly onto the bases. Let's make up some resin. I'm using my usual brand, Barnes Epoxy Cast. I love this resin, not associated or affiliated or sponsored in any way, shape or form. It's just a brand, a local Aussie brand I like to use. So I highly recommend Epoxy Cast. It's a 2:1 ratio. So I'm going to make enough resin now to do all the pieces. So I'm estimating I need about 90 mils. Okay, so I have mixed the resin well and let it sit for a few minutes. And so there is, as I said, 90 milliliters in here. I'm hoping I only need around 15 to 20 just to give it a thin base coat like I do when I make my coasters. So there should be more than enough in there, but if not, I can always mix more. So I'm down to 4 colours. I've actually taken away the turquoise because I feel I only need one blue for this experiment. So I've put the resin into the individual cupcakes and we'll see how it goes. I actually found a 5th tray. I actually bought 5, not 4, so I do have enough inks left over, so I'm just going to use them up in the 5th tray. I like how they're looking so far, so let's try a different pattern with this one. So here are the 5 created pieces, which now just need to sit for, usually I give resin 12 to 24 hours to set. I like the look of them so far. This one's very dark, so you can tell the ones that had the black background, very dark. I actually am preferring the ones that I didn't paint the bottom. So we'll see how it sets. So it's the next day. These have been drying for around 20 hours and happy to report there's absolutely no leakage. It didn't leak out anywhere, which I'm really happy about. You can sort of see where I tested to see if it was dry earlier and put a big finger mark in that one. But apart from that, there's obviously a little swirly thing there where it dried a bit swirly. But apart from that, they came out really well. I like the results on all of them. So I'll try and get these in the camera best I can without the reflection, but I've got a lot of lights on around me as it's a very dark and dismal day here in Melbourne. Lots of rain. So thank you for watching. I always appreciate it. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you thought of this process, how you would do it differently. Have you done anything like this before? It'd be interesting to know how yours worked out. Also remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Until next time, stay safe. Bye.